Okay, hi guys. All right, we're going to do reasoning now. So I'm going to add the rest of our, we have 7 or 8 left to add to our list. And I think it comes to 36 something. I think we have 32, 35, 36 something of our total fallacies. So I'm not going to review our last like 32, and then add these last 4. I'm not going to do that. If it's in your book, on page 188, they have all the fallacies. And well, in my book, the one that has the yellow and the green, but it has at the back, it has short list of fallacies and some examples. So mine's on 188 to 190. But wherever that is, all of them are in there. And also, if you want to hear just me giving a brief, in my own words, definition, if that's a little bit easier to understand, go back to last week's video, or the videos before that. Last week's video, because it'll have all of those except today's. Go back to last week's video, and it'll give you a review of all those fallacies that we've covered so far. I'm just going to introduce our last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 more to make that list, because what you're going to work on this week is you're going to read our last few chapters, 35, 36, and 37, and you're going to learn our last 4 fallacies, and then you're just going to kind of review this week. Review all those fallacies on those pages 188 to 190, or wherever it's at the back of the book. You'll see it, the short list of fallacies. Just kind of review it, because on your blue book, I'm just going to have the fallacies listed, and you're just going to give just a brief definition, not a technical definition, a definition in your own words of what that means to you. And then I want you to give examples of as many as you can think of what that fallacy, and that section of the book has those examples too. But either go through the book, like tu quoque. That one just is really easy for me to remember. It's that smoking example. So if a smoker tells someone, say an older person that's a smoker, has smoked all of his life, and tells a younger person not to smoke, the younger person could say, tu quoque fallacy. Well, you too, it's that you can't, well, you do this too, so why are you telling me not to do it? The fallacy is coming from the person that's saying, well, just because you do it, you can't tell me not to do it because you do it, because that is doesn't mean that they don't have legitimacy in their argument. You can't just dismiss their argument just because they are guilty of that. They could still be, speaking truth there. So just think of a simple example of those in that, and just get as many as you can. You may not have an example for every one of them, but I want you to get as many as you can, because those are the ones that you truly know, is if you can think of an example and how to apply it. And then that will take you further in debate, so you can recognize when someone actually uses a fallacy against you and can call that out. And it makes their debate weak when someone points out that they're actually debating with a fallacy. So to kind of project that over the next few years for you. So anyway, okay, so let's get into these last few. Our last one that we did last week, I think, was the appeal to pity. So we did the appeal to fear and the appeal to pity. So this week is bandwagon. First one is bandwagon that y'all worked on this week. That's when they encourage us to jump on and do what everyone else is doing. It pressures us, because typically it's people like us that are doing it, and that's where we feel the pressure, because these people are like us. But it's that jump on and do what everyone else is doing fallacy. And then exigency. This fallacy is when they tell you that there's a time limit, and it's only the time limit that is pressuring us to do something. So it's that hurry up and agree because we're running out of time. I think the book gave us, this is, hurry and come get my last porcupine before they're all gone. I thought that was funny. He wants a porcupine, but they love porcupines in this book. But it's very quick. It's very quick. You know, while supplies last, you better hurry. It's they won't be here for long. So that's that pressuring us to make a decision. And that's the exigency. Okay, repetition. Repeating loudly and often, hoping people agree. And our book in lesson 34, it said that Adolf Hitler once said, if you can tell a lie long enough and hard enough, sooner or later people will start believing it. So that's the fallacy of repetition. You're just going to say it loudly and often, hoping people will agree. Okay, transfer. So that gets us to transfer our good or bad feelings. It can be both, one or the other, about one thing to another. And commercials do this all the time. When they'll have a supermodel advertise a hair shampoo, a shampoo that you think you love how her hair looks, therefore you transfer those good feelings to that product. And you think, oh, that product could make me have hair like that. Or a sports drink, or a vitamin. This vitamin can make you healthy. This vitamin can help, or this supplement can make you lose weight. And they use an actor that is in very good shape. So it transfers our feelings of, ooh, I would like to be in shape. So therefore, I would like their product. So that's transfer, and commercials use it all the time. The next one is snob appeal. And that persuades us to think that their product would make us better or make us stand out from everyone else. Let's see. I thought I had one. Oh, here we go. Harrow Boarding School, improving education for the brightest minds. So that, I have a bright mind. I want to go there. So it appeals to us through snobbery to make us look better or stand out. And they used one again about porcupines. It says porcupines for the discerning pet owner. So it's that pet owner that knows, that truly knows. If they're a discerning pet owner, they truly know. So they are, porcupines are only for people that are discerning. And, we want to be discerning. So, I need to look at a porcupine. So it gets us that. It starts to, tries to persuade us through snob appeal. Okay, appeal to tradition is the next one, and it encourages us to buy a product or to take an action because it associates things with the past, and typically it makes those things with the past familiar, and the good old days and apple pie, bread, kind of things of those that's typically that someone from our childhood would maybe think of fondly. So if they use time-honored traditions, that they kind of use that. It's appealing to the tradition of things in the past. Now, we also, the last one that we have, our last fallacy, is appeal to the high tech. Now, this is where it's a propaganda technique. And it's encouraging us, trying to persuade us to buy something because it is the latest, greatest thing. Well, not greatest, how about? Because it's latest, it is the greatest. Not necessarily because it is the best, because it is the latest, the newest thing. Phones, computers, you can think of those kind of things. Phones necessarily, like the Apple Watch, the next big thing when Samsung and Apple have their competitions, the next big thing. Phones are big for that. It's the high tech, not necessarily the best, but it's the latest. So, and sometimes they use very high tech, technical, let me make sure I have this one right, technical terms. We don't know what they mean, but they sound very scientific and very technical. Yeah, I need to take action on that. That has attracted me. So that's the appeal to the high tech. And that is our last fallacy. Yeah, and I want to say we have 36. I counted them earlier this week, and I didn't write it down, but I think it's 36 that we have total. So you're just going to review those using those last pages and kind of get those in your mind because that's what on Blue Book we're just going to try to define and give an example of all the ones that we have that we've learned this year. Now, what I wanted to point out is in the back of your book, they've actually put posters of some propaganda from the past that you can kind of see. So if you just kind of read there, it's in that section of find some propaganda of your own on your own, and they list of actual things that have been used in the past. Wartime, World War II was a big one with propaganda. They would just dump it out of planes, and it would be everywhere. But if you know that quote that they put in Hitler, if you say a lie loud enough and long enough, people will believe it, and that tends to be true. So anyway, I think that is our fallacy, our reasoning section, and I'll email your mom the Blue Book next week, and then we will be done there.